Computers have come a long way since their inception. They have gone through several stages of development, each with its own unique features and technologies. In this lecture, we will discuss the 5 generations of computers and their characteristics. First generation computers, 1940s to 1950s. The first generation of computers was characterized by the use of vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory storage. These computers were large, expensive, and consumed a lot of power. They were primarily used for scientific and military purposes, such as calculating missile trajectories and cracking codes. One example of a first-generation computer is the ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, which was one of the first general-purpose electronic computers. It used over 17,000 vacuum tubes and occupied a space of 1,800 square feet. The ENIAC was primarily used for military calculations during World War II. Second-generation computers, 1950s to 1960s. The second generation of computers was characterized by the use of transistors for circuitry and magnetic core memory for storage. These computers were smaller, faster, and more reliable than their predecessors. The second-generation computers used high-level programming languages such as COBOL and Fortran, which made them more user-friendly. One example of a second-generation computer is the IBM 1401, which was one of the most popular computers of its time. It was small enough to fit in an average-sized room and could perform up to 1,000 calculations per second. The IBM 1401 was primarily used for business applications such as payroll and inventory management. Third-generation computers, 1960s to 1970s. The third generation of computers was characterized by the use of integrated circuits for circuitry and semiconductor memory for storage. This made the computers even smaller, faster, and more reliable than the previous generations. The third-generation computers were the first to use operating systems, which made them even more user-friendly. One example of a third-generation computer is the DEC PDP-11, which was one of the most successful mini-computers of its time. It used integrated circuits and semiconductor memory, which made it much faster and more reliable than the previous generations. The PDP-11 was used for scientific, engineering, and business applications. Fourth-generation computers, 1970s to present. The fourth generation of computers was characterized by the use of microprocessors for circuitry and the introduction of personal computers. This made computers even smaller, faster, and more affordable than the previous generations. The fourth-generation computers were also the first to use graphical user interfaces, GUIs, which made them more intuitive and easier to use. One example of a fourth-generation computer is the Apple II, which was one of the first personal computers. It used a microprocessor and had a graphical user interface, which made it much easier for non-technical users to operate. The Apple II was used for a wide range of applications, from word processing to gaming. Fifth-generation computers. Fifth-generation computers are characterized by their advanced capabilities in artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and parallel processing. They are still in development, but the main aim is to create machines that can think, reason, and learn like human beings. The development of fifth-generation computers involves the use of parallel processing, which allows multiple instructions to be executed simultaneously. They also use natural language processing, which enables computers to understand and interpret human language. Additionally, fifth-generation computers are being designed to solve problems in a way that mimics human reasoning. They are expected to have the ability to learn from their experiences and improve their performance over time. Overall, Fifth-generation computers are expected to revolutionize the way we interact with machines and change the face of computing as we know it. Conclusion. In conclusion, the evolution of computers has been a fascinating journey, with each generation building on the advancements of the previous one. The advancements in technology have made computers more powerful, efficient, and user-friendly. Today, computers are an integral part of our daily lives, and we can only imagine what the future holds for this amazing technology. Summary. In this lecture, we discussed the generations of computers which began in the 1940s and have continued to evolve until the present day. We began with the first generation of computers which used vacuum tubes and were bulky, expensive, and unreliable. We then moved on to the second generation of computers which used transistors and allowed for faster processing speeds, more reliable performance, and smaller sizes. We then discussed the third generation of computers which used integrated circuits and provided even more speed, reliability, and smaller sizes. The fourth generation of computers featured microprocessors and provided more power, speed, and versatility. Finally, we talked about the fifth generation of computers which are currently in development and are characterized by artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and advanced problem-solving capabilities. Key points. Computers have evolved through 5 generations since the 1940s. First-generation computers used vacuum tubes and were bulky, expensive, and unreliable. Second-generation computers used transistors and allowed for faster processing speeds, more reliable performance, and smaller sizes. Third-generation computers used integrated circuits and provided even more speed, reliability, and smaller sizes. Fourth-generation computers featured microprocessors and provided more power, speed, and versatility. Fifth-generation computers are currently in development and are characterized by artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and advanced problem-solving capabilities.